What's up, everybody? It's your boy Pop back at it again with another banger storytime video. And today's storytime video, I'm gonna talk about the time when I crashed out over a Call of Duty game when I was a 12-year-old boy. Let's get into it. Now, let's really paint the picture here. It was a hot summer day in 2014, sometime around, June or July. I had just gotten Steam. I had just gotten Steam like a few months ago back in May, and the two games I got were Terraria and the classic OG Call of Duty World at War. And I was really feeling myself that day. I had snacks on deck. I had the orange juice, the cookies, the crackers out, you know what I mean? And I was just about to have a fun time. Or at least, I thought I was going to have a fun time. I loaded up World at War. I loaded up multiplayer. And that ended up not being the case. I was a very distressed young man this day. I loaded up, I got into multiplayer, and I just started getting my ass thoroughly spanked like a little fucking child, you heard? I'm talking, it got so bad to the point where I was crying, I was screaming, and some more context I forgot to tell you guys is that my parents were not in the house that day. You heard that correctly. They were at work doing their adult-like responsibilities, and I was sitting here squeaking and screaming like it was a Call of Duty squeaker rage compilation clip. I was dropping cuss bombs. I was dropping F bombs. Now, hey, you're about to hear this very correctly. I was even dropping N bombs, hard R N bombs. Now, don't worry. Hey, nobody could hear me. I was not talking on the mic. I didn't have voice chat on. I was literally just crying and screaming in my room to myself, so nobody can hear me. And plus, I was super duper young, so you guys have to give me some slack on this one. I didn't know any better at the time. I was really just saying anything off of my mind that would release some stress. I was saying the craziest things possible. And it got so distressful to the point where I actually ended up calling my dad, to, tell him what was going on, saying, "Dad, this shit's going on, man. Like, I keep getting killed in the game, Dad." And, my dad, I mean, he could kind of understand me, but at the same time, he probably thought, "Hey, you gotta grow a pair of fucking nuts, little nigga." Straight up. I mean, that really was the case. I mean, you look back at it now, and it's funny. You know what I mean? It's like, there's really no reason to get that pissed off over a game. But when you a kid, I mean, that's how shit is. Pops is hitting me with that, "It's just a game, son." And I'm like, "Nah, Pops, this is war." And just to remind you guys, again, I was 12 years old, meaning I did not sound anything like how I sound now. My demeanor and everything about me is totally different. It's like you guys are about to get a time machine, a little glimpse back in time. You'll see what I mean. One of these days in one of my other storytime videos, or any video I put out, I'm going to put out a little snippet or a clip of how I used to sound back in the day. That is correct. You're going to hear how Little Pop used to sound back in the day. I mean, shit, I was like 5 foot tall at the time, maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. I was a nerd. If you guys saw what I looked like, none of you guys know what I look like, but if you saw what I looked like, you saw and look like now, you be in for a shock for sure. I mean, after that ass whooping I received on the game that day, I basically I actually ended up just relaxing and chilling for the rest of the day. After you have a crash out, you kind of just tend to have that post-Crashout Clarity, and I ended up just turning off the game, turning off the computer, took a nap, got up, and played some Minecraft like it was nothing. And here's a little fun fact too. After that day, that was the only ever time I really crashed out that hard over a video game. Now, that's not me to say that I didn't have moments where I've gotten mad, but this was only the ever time where I was like super distressed and like really raging. You know what I mean? Now, I have similar moments that I'm going to tell in another story time video, but that's for a different video though. We're going to keep that for a different day. But as far as like what happened 11 years ago on that hot summer night, that hot summer day of me just being just totally just so cracked out and, you know, young and full of hormones, that was over that day. That was the one and only time that has happened. Now, what's the life lesson in all this? Guys, it's just a video game. It ain't no reason to be that, you know, emotionally distressed over a goddamn game. Not for real. Because here's the thing. I was 12 years old when this happened. I'm 22 now. I'm about to be 23 this year. I have had no moments like that in my adult life ever. Not over a video game, remind you. You got grown-ass men out here in their 20s, 30s, 40s. Hey, even to my OGs who play who are 50, 60 years old, 60 plus, who still play games. I know a lot of you guys, some of you motherfuckers be getting hella mad over video games, be my dad's age, and be, you know, cussing people out, you know, swearing, you know, just saying a whole bunch of crazy shit to dudes on the microphone. At least me that day, I was saying a bunch of crazy shit, but at least I wasn't saying it on the mic. I was just saying it to myself to vent out frustration. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, guys, if you ever find yourself getting mad or that, you know, stressed over a video game, just turn the console off. Turn the computer off, just turn the system off, and go for a fucking walk. It's that simple. Because at the end of the day, video games is a hobby. It's a form of entertainment. And it should just be a way to escape reality. It should not be your whole life. And that's the mistake that I see a lot of young men make. And not even just young men, even more grown adults make too. And it ain't cool. But anyway, guys, that wraps up today's storytime video. I got more story times coming out next week. I got a similar video to this coming out next week. Not exactly the same again, but something very similar. You guys will see what I mean. And again, storytime. Life lesson again. Just don't get pissed over video games. Not just to my adults who watch this to watch this channel, but to young ones too. Don't be getting pissed off. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth the emotional stress. Pick up a basketball, pick up a soccer ball, go to the gym, lift some weights, and turn that rage into something more productive. With that being said, it's your boy Pop signing out with another banger video, and you guys have a good one. Until next time, peace the fuck out.